he is a game changer, but he's not a game changer in the playoffs.
No.
And it's proven in the last 2 years, he's not a game changer. Even against San Francisco 2 years ago, he wasn't a game changer. When you need Micah Parsons to show up in the game, he disappears in the big game. So in the regular season, yeah. And I'll say that about J.J. Watt too. J.J. Watt was a good regular season defensive lineman. In the playoffs, not too good. And that's, again, when people are trying to compare some of the best, Aaron Donald, how many playoff seasons has he had? He in the first part of his career, he didn't really play a lot of playoffs. It took a while for him to get there, but when he needed to make a play in the playoffs, especially in a Super Bowl in the second half, he was the best player. And that's what you expect. If you're going to get paid the kind of money that you want to get paid, and you want to be the difference maker, you want to say that you want to be the highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history, well, you got to show up in the big game. And Micah, you have not done that. And until you do that, it's not going to happen. And I'm going to tell you this right now. If the Cowboys are smart, Micah still has another, 2 years left on his contract. I do not extend him until his 5th year. And if he's having these 2 really good seasons, if you can get a boatload of draft stock for him, I trade him, because he's already talking about going to another team. So that just tells you that he doesn't want to be there. It hasn't proven, in my eyes, where we see this team with CeeDee Lamb, that they can win with just CeeDee Lamb. He is the only target that they have in the big game. Right. And Dak Prescott, you could see he's forcing the ball into areas where he's putting himself in harm's way. And that's why he gets, especially in that game against the Green Bay Packers, why he threw too many interceptions. He was forcing the ball to CeeDee Lamb. It doesn't work, and you need other weapons. And they haven't drafted very good at the wide receiver position. They really haven't. You could say whatever you want. All you Cowboy fans can make those arguments. They haven't. They got lucky with CeeDee Lamb because he fell to 17 when he was the top 5 prospect. Right. Thank you, B, because I told you he was going to be as good as he was. But again, you have to look at this. You have to understand the position. And he's not going to the Steelers because they're going to have to pay Watt, and Watt is going to want, he just got an extension. He's going to want even more. He sees all these other guys, and he's putting up those numbers every single year. Remember, he had 20 something sacks 2 years ago. TJ Watt's better than JJ, and he's that good of a player. He's been remarkable. I expect him to ask for more. As soon as somebody else gets paid, he's going to say, you know what, I'm the best defensive player in the league. I should get paid more. And that's what these guys are doing. That's what these wide receivers are doing. It's not good enough. When somebody gets more money, quarterbacks do. You look at Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow right now is making the most money right now out of a quarterback yearly. So what's going to happen next? When Patrick Mahomes got a $500 million contract, he just got it. I think he got a new contract, but Patrick Mahomes is doing what Tom Brady is doing. Right. He's sitting back. He doesn't need to make the money. He wants to win championships now. And at the end of his career, he'll take as many contracts, as much money as he possibly can, because of his talent and what he could do on the football field. So, and
we've seen them restructure so many things for other defensive players as well. That's why the Chiefs have been able to bring so many guys in. And the one that just did it for this offseason was Chris Jones. And Chris Jones got the biggest contract for a defensive tackle. And they're always going to be like that, both with edge rushers and defensive tackles. Look at 2 New York teams. Dexter Lawrence and Quentin Williams both got big contracts. So there's going to be bidding wars with these premium positions.
I think the Jets are going to regret that contract.
Maybe they will, but the Cowboys now have 3 dilemmas at premium positions.
And I like Quentin Williams. Yeah, I like him. He's a sensational player. He's one of the top 3 defensive linemen right now in the NFL. And now you bring in another big-time defensive player on the edge, who, by the way, is going to want a lot of money too. So how are the Jets going to negotiate that deal where it's going to work when Aaron Rodgers is probably going to want to be extended if he wants to play another 2 or 3 more years? I mean, he already said he wants to play till he's 44, 45. Right. He's 41 this year. So that means he wants to play another 3 years. So how are they going to pay him if he's still at the top of his game? There's a lot of questions on how these contracts are going to work out. Now, the Amazon deal is definitely going to give them more money. I think it's like $16 million. So it does benefit certain teams, but not all. The Cowboys right now are in salary hell right now. So even with that $16 million, they're taking that $16 million and throwing it back into the salary hell that they have. So a lot of questions.